Miss America, deceased. Real name, Madeline Joyce Frank. Occupation, adventurer. Identity, known to the U.S. government. Legal status, American citizen with no criminal record. Other aliases, none. Place of birth, Washington, D.C. Place of death, Wundagore Mountain, Transia, Europe. Known survivors, Robert Frank Jr., alias Nuclo, son. Group affiliation, member of the Liberty Legion, the Invaders, and the All Winners Squad. First modern appearance, Giant Size Avengers number 1. Final appearance, Giant Size Avengers number 1. History. Madeline Joyce was the niece of a millionaire who was financing electrical experiments of an unknown nature in a converted lighthouse on the eastern seaboard. One night, Joyce was visiting the lighthouse during a violent electrical storm. She was caught in a powerful electrical discharge from the equipment triggered by the storm outside. Joyce miraculously survived the accident, but lay in a coma for a week. The discharge, however, activated her latent mutant ability to levitate herself and thereby fly, and also somehow increased her physical vitality. Joyce decided to use her gift in the cause of liberty and justice. Fashioning a costume for herself, she dubbed herself Miss America. She had achieved limited fame as a costumed home-front spy smasher when she met Robert Frank, the Whizzer, while battling a Nazi spy ring who had hijacked a railroad in upstate New York. They were working on this mission when Bucky Barnes contacted them and asked that they join the group that would become the Liberty Legion. See Whizzer. Miss America was a member of the Liberty Legion and, after the war, the All Winners Squad. After the All Winners Squad disbanded, she and the Whizzer resumed their civilian identities and were married. In 1949, they began work for the U.S. government as non-costumed superhuman security agents at a secret nuclear project located in Manhattan. Unknown to the Franks, Izbisa, a former enemy of the All Winners Squad, sabotaged the facility and staged a nuclear accident which exposed them to massive amounts of radiation. Although Izbisa's act of revenge did not kill the Franks, Madeline was pregnant at the time and, several months later, gave birth to a radioactive mutant son. The baby was taken into custody by the U.S. government and placed in a chrono module to contain his radiation. The baby would emerge decades later and become known as Nuclo. Granted a generous government pension because of the accident, the Franks left the research facility and decided to tour the world. Madeline accidentally became pregnant again and was in the tiny Balkan country of Transia when the pregnancy had come to term. Upon the recommendation of villagers who believed it to have the most modern medical facilities in the area, the Franks sought refuge in the scientific citadel atop Wundagore Mountain belonging to the High Evolutionary. See, High Evolutionary. They were taken in by Bova, a cow evolved to humanoid form by the evolutionaries' experiments. With Bova as midwife, Madeline gave birth to a stillborn child, more radioactive and mutated than her first. So weakened was she by the radiation that Madeline did not survive the birthing experience by more than 2 hours. When Robert Frank heard of his wife's death, he fled Wundagore in grief. Bova buried Madeline Joyce Frank's body at the foot of Wundagore Mountain in an unmarked grave. Height, 5 feet 8 inches. Weight, 130 pounds. Eyes, blue. Hair, auburn. Powers. Miss America possessed the ability to levitate by psionic means. Her brain generated psions, psionic particles, which interacted with gravitons, particles which carry gravitic attraction, around her body, thus permitting her to rise into the air. In coordination with carefully planned leaps, Miss America could use her levitation to fly. The maximum rate of speed she could attain on a windless day was about 30 miles per hour. She frequently had to land in order to kick off with enough velocity to reach optimum speed. She could attain any height at which she could still breathe, approximately 20,000 feet. She could levitate for up to 2 hours before mental fatigue would force her to rest. Fatigue poisons accumulated in Miss America's body at a slower rate than in other humans' bodies due to a mutation activated by the electrical shock she received. Miss America was a natural athlete with the gymnastic ability, reflexes, and stamina of an Olympic contestant. She was schooled in unarmed combat by Captain America while she was a member of the Invaders.